What's up? How's it going, everybody? As you can see, starting things off in the van, and that's because it is officially that time. So as some of you may or may not know, every time that I wrap up with a state, I like to do a recap of all the things that I've done, the stuff that I liked, the stuff that I didn't like, even though there's nothing really not to like out here, but just kind of an overall recap and my general opinion on my experience in the state. So with all that, let's hop right into it. I'm gonna be starting with a list of 11 activities that I did, ranking them best to worst, even though all of them are great options to do. Let's go. So coming in at number 1 on my list of the things I did while I was in Oregon, drumroll please. Oregon's only national park, Crater Lake. Now, Crater Lake was honestly, it blew my expectations out the water. Like, I did not know that the lake was going to be as big as it actually is. And there's a little like volcano thing in the middle of it. It was really cool. It's definitely a national park for a reason, and that's why it's coming in at number 1 on my list, Crater Lake. That is a must, absolute must. Coming in at number 2, for the state that's really known for its waterfalls, I have Multnomah Falls. Now, Multnomah Falls is definitely a true tourist attraction for sure. Every time that you go there, there's probably going to be a bunch of people. It's probably going to be absolutely packed. It is definitely a hot spot in Oregon, but for a good reason, because the waterfall is definitely the best waterfall, most cool waterfall I've ever seen. There's like layers to the views. So when you initially get to the waterfall, you see the whole entire thing with the bridge and like the lower falls. Then you get to go on the bridge and you just see like the upper falls themselves. So then you get to go on a hike and actually see like from the top of them, like the whole entire view. So there's layers to it and it's really cool. So I definitely recommend and something to check out. Number 3, and the reason why this is coming on my list, because it honestly has such like a special place in my heart. I just love the vibe. I just love the feel. And number 3 is actually where I'm at right now. Timberline, the snow park, and just Mount Hood in general is such a very special place. The vibe is always on 100. I just love being here. I could chill out here for hours and never get bored. The view is absolutely amazing, you know, and it's just a really, really cool place. And so where I'm at right now, Timberline, it's actually a ski lodge, and I'm not really a big skier, but I have a lot of friends that ski, and this is like a place that I hear them talk about a lot. So if they were ever in this area, I would definitely come out just to ski it. It's really that cool. I definitely recommend this place. Coming in at number 4 is Cannon Beach. Now, Cannon Beach was really cool, and the reason why it's probably coming up so high compared to these other things is because it's the only beach that I really seen and I got to go to and enjoy and check out in Oregon, so that was cool. But Haystack Rock is super cool, and just like the vibes that you get, and definitely like one of the most infamous things that Oregon has to offer, so it's definitely must see. So I'm sitting here editing the video, you know how I do, and the mother freaking audio didn't pick up. It tends to do that when I record for long periods of time. I don't know why it does that. I don't know how to fix it, but it is what it is. Just gotta do what you gotta do. So I'm gonna redo 5 through 11, but first let me show you how smoky the campsite is. You can't even see Mount Hood. That is crazy. Wow. It's time to run it back. Let's go. I need to do some serious maintenance on the poster ceiling. So I know if you guys are like, poster ceiling's not looking that good. I know, trust me. All right, let's go. Coming in at number 5, I have Proxy Falls. Now, what made Proxy Falls unique was the hike. So the hike was relatively easy. It was like a mile round trip, which is really rare for a hike that gives you like extremely good views. So that was a plus. But as you got closer to the waterfall, thing looked like a war zone getting up to the falls. So I had to cross the river on this big tree that acted as a bridge, and just walking up to the falls, man, they were some of the most beautiful falls I've ever seen. It definitely gives Multnomah Falls a run for the money. I think that the only reason why Multnomah Falls was ranked higher than this one, just because it's probably the most iconic waterfall, but Proxy Falls definitely gave it a run for its money. Coming in at number 6, I have Green Lakes. Now, like I said, I think earlier, I'm pretty sure I said this, every single thing on this list is an absolute banger. So this just ranks 6th on what I did, but it was honestly really cool. This hike really has a special place in my heart just because of the experience. I didn't go in planning to swim, but you know, the hike was a little bit longer. I didn't bring that much water and it was really hot, so I was just like, screw it, and I'm so glad I did it. Just swimming in a cold lake, kind of like a cold plunge, you know, beautiful blue with mountains all around, man. It was a really cool experience and definitely an unforgettable one. So it's coming in number 6 and I definitely recommend. Coming in at number 7, I have Sparks Lake. Sparks Lake was cool because it had its own unique type vibe feel to it. It was on like a volcano, or it was an active volcano, because there was smoke coming out everywhere. Because at first I thought, you know, it's early in the morning, probably just like, you know, early morning mist or whatever, but no, smoke was coming out the ground. So it had to have been an active volcano or something. And the lake was super clear, got that good reflection of the mountains. Definitely something really cool. And the hike was really easy. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a loop trail, 2 miles max. Elevation gain was light, so definitely recommend, definitely something easy to do, and that would be coming in at number 7. Now for number 8, and it's like kind of a disservice having it so low on the list because it seems like it's not cool, but trust me, it is worth checking out if you're in the Bend area. Smith Rock State Park is super just unique because when you're in Bend, you're used to seeing stuff like the Sisters, mountains, and all that, but Smith Rock State Park is just gives you a whole entire Southwest desert feel, as jagged desert-like rock formations, kind of like you see in the Southwest, but it's in Oregon, and the views around it, because you kind of get good elevation because there's a bunch of rock climbing and all that, but the views around it are super good. And you also have a river to check out, which is nice. So, and if you're into rock climbing, this would be like top 3. It all depends on just what you're into and what you like to do, but Smith Rock State Park, definitely a must-see. Slowly reaching the end of the list, coming in at number 9, the hike I just did, Trillium Lake. Trillium Lake was cool, and the reason why it's coming at number 9 is because I'm kind of biased just because how much I just love Mount Hood and the vibe I get from it, and just seeing that lake point of view of the mountain was a spectacular view, and just a great chill lake. If I had a paddleboard or a kayak or something, which I really need to get, it would probably even be better because I would hit the lake and I would check that out, but definitely a cool different perspective of the mountain. And that's what I seem to realize, is that you can get so many different types of perspectives and different types of point of view of a mountain that just each one of them are just so beautiful in its own way. And it's crazy that it's just you're looking at the same mountain. But that is coming in at number 9. So I kind of have like a little 1-2 punch coming in at my spots 10 and 11. So at 10 I have Tumalo Falls, and at 11 I have Tumalo Mountain. At 10 with Tumalo Falls, the hike was super easy. You can either do like a straight walk up one that's only like 0.1 miles, or you could do like a longer one like I did. But either way, the waterfall was amazing. I mean, Oregon has probably the best waterfalls in the country. I mean, I can only speak on what I've seen, but so far they do. And it's like you cannot go wrong with any of these waterfalls. Tumalo Falls, great falls, man. It was pretty big, you know, waterfall too, you know, nothing light. And it was relatively accessible, so definitely something to check out. And Tumalo Mountain, the reason why it's coming in at last place, I do a lot of hikes like Tumalo Mountain, just kind of getting a little bit of elevation. You're getting good panoramic views of the other mountains in the same range. So it was nothing that was very mind-blowing like a lot of these other hikes, so that's why it's coming so low. But nonetheless, like I keep on saying, you cannot go wrong with any of these. So no matter if it's number 1 at Crater Lake or number 11 at Tumalo Mountain, it's jaw-dropping views throughout the whole entire list. So with that, I'm going to move on to the cities that I stayed in and visited, and go into what they were like and what they had to offer. First city that I ended up staying in once I got to Oregon was Bend. I heard so much about it when I was in Washington, and then when I was climbing Mount St. Helens, I ran into the volunteers and the workers who check the permits and who talk to the people who do their hikes, and they recommended Bend. And I looked it up, and I guess it was one of the most popular destinations for van life in the United States, so I had to check it out. And man, it was exactly what they said. It was a van life destination. There's a bunch of stuff to do. This is what really makes a good spot to do van life, and Bend had it. The dispersed camping was only like 5 minutes from downtown, you know, so I could sleep and I could go into town and it'd be no biggie. So that was a huge plus. They had huge variety of places to eat. I didn't do a lot of eating when I was there. The only place I really went to was Chan's. Shout out Chan's, and that place was fire. But other than that, I cooked all my meals, but when I looked up on the maps, there was no shortage of places to eat. They had tons of it. They had all types of different grocery stores. Me personally, I shop at Safeway, but I'm pretty sure they had like a Natural Grocers and stuff like that, and wherever you want to shop, they had it. You know, they had places like Walmart and McDonald's. They had everything that you need in Bend, and it was just such like an outdoors and van life town. Everything was so right in that area. If you want to do good hikes, then you could do good hikes. If you wanted a place to disperse camp, then you could disperse camp. If you wanted to go into town, then you can go into town. Everything was right there. there, and that's what made it really good. Definitely recommend Bend as a place to stay. Next up, I have Government Camp, and Government Camp is kind of, I think I kind of like put like a lot of other cities in the Government Camp. So when I say Government Camp, I kind of throw in like a little bit of Welch's, a little bit of Zigzag in there. Government Camp, kind of like a 15-mile radius, but Government Camp itself, the small ski town, is a really cool place. Definitely gives you small ski town vibes. They have really good places to eat. When we went there, we went to Rathskeller Pizza Restaurant. Pizza was really good. We went to the Huckleberry Inn restaurant. Food was good there. And they have a grocery store and they have a gas station. So they have everything that you need there. But then when you move down kind of more westish towards Welch's and Zigzag and all that, like the Zigzag Cafe, that was really good. They have really good places to eat there. But those towns, man, they're really good towns. You really can't go wrong with that. The craziest driving was probably going to Crater Lake, but you know, it's not a bad place to stay because you can see Mount Hood. You could drive the hour to Multnomah Falls. You could drive the 2.5 hours to Seaside. So it's like, if you want to do it, you definitely can. Government Camp, Zigzag, and Welch's, definitely good places to stay. So I didn't end up staying in this place, but we went to a lot when we were staying where we were at the Airbnb, and the place was sandy. It was a little small town, and that's where we ate most of the time. That's where Breakfast in the Hood is. We went to Two Brothers Mexican restaurant. That was good. Double Dragon, that was all right. Their orange chicken was Sandbar BBQ, that was a good place. So they have a lot of good food options, especially if you're staying in this area, because you know, in Government Camp they don't have a lot of food options, but they definitely have options. But where Sandy, like, you could choose where you want to go. You know, they definitely have a lot of stuff to eat, and a lot of it's good. Breakfast in the Hood is probably the best breakfast place that I've ever been to. I talked to my friends like way before I did this. I was like, man, if I was gonna open a breakfast restaurant and make crazy breakfast things, like, you know, like pancake tacos or like pancake breakfast burritos and waffle sandwiches and stuff like that. And that's kind of what Breakfast in the Hood does, and that was right up my alley. So definitely shout out to Breakfast in the Hood. And the last town I'm really gonna speak on is Seaside. Everybody, when I said I was coming out to Oregon, everybody hyped up Seaside, and I could tell why. The vibe there was outstanding. The beach was so fun. Beautiful views. Definitely like Pacific Coast beach, because you got like the mountains and all that. The vibe was really cool. Water wasn't that bad. Towns were nice. It was weird because it gave me like Pacific Coast beach, because duh, it is, but it gave me like the feel of like out east, like Florida beach kind of shops in the town. So that's why I think that maybe a lot of people like it. But it was definitely was really cool. I definitely would recommend. Now that I talked about the activities that I did and the places that I stayed, time for just like my general opinion about Oregon itself. And it is great. If I were to rank the 3 states that I've been to, and this is hard to do, but I'm going Oregon, Washington, Montana. Oh, that sucks to say because Montana was really fun, but Oregon, Washington, Montana. Oregon, super cool. If you want to see the ocean, if you want to see the forest, if you want to see the mountains, if you want to see waterfalls, if you want to see a lake, you can see it here. And the vibe is really cool. The cities are really cool. I learned a lot. I feel like I've grown a lot. I got just more comfortable doing van life. So I'm really excited for the future. But with the end to Oregon, that also means an end to season 1, which is huge. So that means season 2 is on the clock. Next video coming out is going to be my season 1 recap, and that is going to be me actually talking to you guys about what it's actually like to do all this. I know you guys see all my videos, but you know, you see 10 to 20 minutes every other day, but I'm out here every single second of every single day, and it's crazy. I'm going to give you a lot of insight of what it's like, of how it's been, of what's to come, and yeah, many more. So that's what's next. Season 1 recap and the start of season 2 with a big surprise. So a lot to be excited about. But with that, I'm going to end the video here. I know it's probably going to be a little bit shorter, but you know, getting everything ready for season 2. As always, if you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, make sure to comment them down below. And until next time, peace.